Good morning and from MBA and welcome to our parents' night. I am sorry not to be with everybody in person, but happy to speak with you virtually about the junior school and about the start of this school year. I spent a little time the other morning with my two dogs visiting the 7th and 8th grades before school. It was a poignant reminder of just the sweetness and goodness and kindness that you see in young boys when two puppies come around them. It reminded me of the hopefulness that I have for the 7th and 8th grades, the brightness in their eyes, the enthusiasm about being at MBA, and the ways in which I hope they will shape the school and our community over the next 5 and 6 years. As you know now, the secret of the 7th and 8th grades at MBA is the sense of structure and the fundamentals that the young men learn. We work hard at talking to them about structure and the basics and essentials of language and mathematics and keeping their notebooks organized and being on time and figuring out ways to manage their day and their weekends. In fact, I often urge the students to think about doing some work on the weekends so that they can have a better week and not put things off until Sunday night. One of the important issues for us about the junior school is that we develop a sense of team and unity. Our boys come from over 30 different schools and many zip codes, and we want to create a community of young men that all care about one another and that recognize that they are, in a sense, brothers and close friends and people who support one another. So the unity, the openness, the sense of caring for one another are all really important at MBA. I urge you to talk to your sons about the MBA ideal of gentleman, scholar, athlete. It is a poetic combination of words, but more importantly, it really sets an order and priority for the students at MBA. First and foremost, they want to develop that gentleman aspect of who they are, to be someone who has respect and empathy and care for one another. They want to understand that seriously committing themselves to academics and scholarship will make them a stronger and better citizen. And they want to be concerned about their physical well-being as an athlete, someone who understands that taking care of oneself physically, developing a true concept of wellness and well-roundedness will make you a better person. As we start this school year, I hope that you will make an effort to get to know one another. Communities are stronger and greater because people care for one another, because they try to get to know one another, because they recognize the value of every member. We have an opportunity, I believe, at MBA to model for the greater community a sense of the kind of care that we have regardless of race or background or zip code. In fact, I often talk to the young men at MBA that it doesn't matter what your last name is or what school you went to before you came here, but what matters is how hard you work and how much you care for one another. And if we could model that as adults and parents and community members, I think we will have a terrific school year. I think we will help your sons grow to be better men. And I believe that we'll have the kind of community that will truly make a difference. I thank you for being at MBA, and look forward to getting to see you often this school year.
Welcome, parents. A year like no other. I'm a senior parent and an MBA alum, and this year is not quite what I had envisioned for our son's final year. But rather than being upset over what has been taken away, I'm turning my attention to what has been gained. You see, never before have all our boys been able to live the themes that MBA teaches about in literature, like perseverance, endurance, leadership. They're living those values daily. I commend MBA's singular focus in this pandemic, getting our boys physically back to school safely. The money required for COVID safety measures has totaled $500,000 so far, in addition to the untold human resource hours spent adapting to a new world. It makes me grateful and proud. I've seen thoughtful and steady leadership with MBA's attention to provide certainty in an uncertain world, a much needed security for our boys. Honestly, the security you would expect from a 150-year-old institution. The MBA annual fund is critical, and it represents nearly 15% of the school's operating budget to support everything on campus except for the bricks and mortar. Capital campaign funds, on the other hand, are designated for the wellness center construction, other physical plant improvements, and the endowment. Your annual fund gift this year carries more weight than ever before because MBA's needs are greater, but we also recognize that family constraints are greater. But participation remains paramount. Every gift matters, regardless of size. MBA's ability to receive funding from outside organizations depends on the level of support from its constituents, such as parents, alumni, faculty, and board members. Your gift directly increases the number of opportunities for our boys and makes a difference in their lives and this beautiful community. Please join Kate and me in giving to the annual fund and making this year a year like no other, with 100% participation and an MBA story that keeps getting better. See you on the Hill.
Hello and good evening. We've prepared a virtual parents' night. Normally at this time, I would be giving you directions to how to get started and get to your advisory. But tonight we're going to ask that you take time to sit down with your son and pull up Scholar. And after you watch these introductory videos, that you will take a period of time to walk through your son's schedule. I thought I might fill in a little bit of the blanks for you because you will not actually be here to see things on campus, and we do miss that. Um, we gather in the mornings outside. We try to keep the boys outside as much as we can, as weather allows, keeping them safe. They enter the building very quickly in the morning and go to advisory. We have all of our hallways marked in terms of directions so that the flow is easy and the boys do not need to bump into each other or things like that. Our boys have, as you know, their water bottles and their backpacks, so the flow is very easy. In the classrooms, our rooms are the chairs are all spaced out in about 6 feet apart, so we're able to get everybody in. We have measured and spaced out every single space on campus. At break, we do want the boys to get out, and they have an area where they can go. The 8th grade moves toward the gym area and just outside Davis, and the 7th grade moves to the porch of Massey and down between Massey and the Ingram building. We want the boys to have a break and get out and get some fresh air. Lunch has gone really well. We have the big tent dining, and so our 7th grade has been in the dining hall and our 8th grade has been in the big tent. That has also worked really well. The food is very organized. It's almost a touchless system where that you go in and the boys choose what they've ordered for the day and have a seat, both in the tent and in the dining hall. The seating is appropriately spaced. When the boys finish lunch, they can stay in those lunch places, dining spaces as long as possible, but then they can spend some time outside and relax as well. So I do want to tell you that I think our boys are doing very well. They wear their mask. They respect distance as much as they can. We know that they want to be together. They want to play. They want to wrestle. They want to jump up and down, but they've been really restrained in their interaction. We do have to tell them occasionally to move apart, but other than that, they've done a really, really good job. We've worked really hard to keep everybody safe, and we know that you've worked really hard at home as you've tried to provide for the remote learning. Please know that we appreciate all your efforts. We appreciate the time tonight that you're going to give to spending time with your son and walking through the schedule. And we hope in the very near future that we can all be together and visit together and see each other in person. So enjoy your evening, and we're off to a good start.